story of my dating life, I don't know what is. These men ain't.
Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic.
What's up, It Girl Gang? Gang, 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 gang. It's your girl, Marie. And today we need to go into a story time. A really sad story time on how I looked like a fool. A complete and utter fool, okay? But before we get into that, if you are not subscribed, let's wait. You should be subscribed, thanks. Let's just get into like some backstory. Basically, I knew homeboy in school, high school. And quick side note, this is why you don't, when you graduate and you get fired and you glow up, you don't go backwards and start trying to date men from high school, bro. Because literally you are going to be in for such a rude awakening. Like, I cannot explain to you how many men I have talked to from high school that I made this big deal about. And then I end up hanging out with them and I'm like, this has been you the whole time, or is this just like you when we graduated? Like, are you just a deadbeat? Have you been a deadbeat all this time? Like, and I just made up all these fake fantasies about you? Like, I feel like that's what it is you make up a bunch of fantasies and then you dream about this person, and then when you finally get this person, you're like, I played myself. But anyways, I had a really fat crush on him. Honestly, he was one of the most popular guys in school. He was really popular, and I remember I just always had I had a kind of a crush on his friend, but like I had a crush on him and his friend. His friend had me mentally where I was like emotionally connected to his friend, but homeboy had me on the physical attributes. Like, I was like, this is sexy, okay? Like, he is fun. We didn't talk much in high school because he was like popular, and you know, I was doing my thing. I was too busy dealing with whatever I had going on, and he was busy with whatever he had going on. You know, I don't know what he had going on. Years later, we ended up being in the same college class together, and I wasn't really present in that class, but like I was pretty present. And I remember he was in that class, and I remember just thinking like, oh my gosh, boop boop boop, it's in my class. Like, this is my chance to profess my love to him. But I ended up being one of those students who like was never there but still got an A because I left with a 4.0. Don't play with me. I ended up just like not being in that class, so like him and I didn't really get to chat. And then like one day he reached out to me and we had a little chat on Instagram, and then he like disappeared. He like deleted me. I thought that he like unfollowed me or something. I don't know. Taurus energy. He just like, I don't know, disappeared. I don't know where he went. Like, honestly, it behooves me to know where that boy went and what he was doing, okay? He disappeared, and now fast forward till today, or till a couple of weeks ago, he just came out of nowhere. He followed me back, he started watching my stories, and then he messaged me, let's hang out. And I'm gonna tell you this like straight up, the first date that we went on, amazing. I've actually never been on such a fun date. We were gaming or something, and like he was teaching me how to play the games, and then he was like kind of like buff a little bit because, you know, his lifestyle I guess requires him to be like strong or something. He was just so fine, like so fine and so attractive. We were just vibing. It was like a movie date. When I go out on a date with guys, I feel like guys are so annoying and dusty. They just think of like stupid ideas. Oh, go out with me. And then they just like want you to eat food with them. And then they hurry up and want you to go to their house and give them head or something. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and go to your house. I'm not gonna do nothing for you, boy, just because you paid for this one $12 meal. Don't play with me. I pay all my bills, baby. I was just really like intrigued by homeboy. We was talking, laughing. He made amazing eye contact. I literally wanted to just eat him for lunch in that moment. Okay, but you know, I got standards. I'm not gonna sit here and just sleep with you on the first date. I'm not gonna give you a kiss. McKinley, say hi if you're gonna be interrupting the video. Say what's up. We gonna have to wait until we continuously date, and then maybe I'm gonna give you a peck on the cheek. Then after that, I'll give you a peck on the lips. Then after that, we might have a makeup session. And then you can rub my back a little bit lower, daddy. Don't play with me. The first date, 15 out of 10. Then after that, we kept communication, like we kept texting, talking or whatever on the phone. It was going along with my fantasies, so I was like all the way there for us. Fast forward to second date. This is where things just got, why me? We go on our second date, and he's like, do you want to go get acai bowls and walk in the park. Acai bowls and walk in the park. This boy has amazing date ideas. I was like, of course, I would love to, you know? So I was like, okay, this is gonna be even dope. We get there and start talking. That's why you can't go walk in the park. I suggest if you want things to go smoothly, don't talk. Because these men will tell you the truth, girl. We get to talking and he's like, I want to be more than friends. And you know, in my head, I was like, ooh, I just feel like from jump, he was super transparent. But that initiation got the best of homeboy. Me as somebody who has high standards, after he made it clear to me, I don't want to just be friends. I got enough friends. I'm looking for like a real deep situation. Oh, he's saying everything that I need to hear right now. Obviously, you interested in the position. I'm gonna start the interview process. I threw a curve at him. I'm not gonna have sex with you like when we hang out. Now, keep in mind, in my head, I just always like to test that question with guys because I feel like their answer will reveal their motives instantly, and then I don't gotta waste any more time. That's when things went downhill. Homeboy literally said word for word, I'm not trying to date. I'm not trying to commit to no type of female. If you're looking for commitment, you're gonna have to give me sex first. And I said, okay, so after sex, there's commitment. And he was like, I'm not gonna commit to any female anytime soon. I'm like, 1 + 3 = 10? Like, the math was not mathing there. You said you want to be more than just friends. He's like, I'm really looking for that sexual aspect of things, the intimacy. And I was like, okay, so what about the connection? What about you and me? What about 1 + 1 = 2, ninja? What about you being my boyfriend? He's like, girlfriend, like how? Like, what does girlfriend mean? You claiming me in front of your family, your mama, your dad. He goes, meeting the family, that's a possibility, I guess, if it happens naturally. Hold on. What happened with the beginning, you? It was like right when I said I was not gonna give sex. I'm not even looking for commitment. I'm not even looking for anything, bro. Like, I just want that intimate. That's all I want. So then I was like, okay, so let's talk about the value that is placed on a woman. Would you not agree after a guy sleeps with a girl, it kind of brings down her value in his eyes? Homeboy said word for word, quotations on, sex is kind of like a hamburger on a plate that you're really, really hungry and you really want this hamburger. And when you finally take a bite of that hamburger, you know, you don't want it anymore. Okay, this is just not looking good for you, bro. This is not looking good for you. You mean to tell me you out here comparing sex with a whole human being to a Happy Meal from McDonald's? Like, you not even an In-N-Out burger? Like, you gonna say a burger, just a miscellaneous burger? Like, I could have got that burger from RJ's Burger. Like, you just looking at sex like a whole burger, bro? The rest of the date just ended up transpiring like that. And so in the end, I was like, okay, so I guess I'm never gonna talk to you again. And he was like, guess not. Have a good one though. Can I get a hug? I'm gonna zap you with my freaking taser. That's what you're gonna get. Now I'm gonna give some advice, okay? Because y'all needed to hear that gruesome story so that I could get into this, the most important part, which is the advice. Number one thing I'm gonna say is stop making yourself so gosh dang available. So thirsty for a relationship, so thirsty for a connection that you are always available for some fool just because he chooses to do one big thing, takes initiative, okay? No, because I feel like really personally, like if I wouldn't have made myself so available to him, I kind of would have just went on that first date and really paid attention to who he was as a person. Now I look back and I'm like, okay, now that I think about it, he was super touchy. He didn't even really think about me as a person. He didn't think about how comfortable I feel. He touching on a females, you being touchy on a male, that's not something that is just normal. Homeboy was really touchy. I'm not even gonna sit there and lie, like it kind of makes sense. He only wanted sex, but I chose to ignore all of those red flags. Even on our first date, he kept going like, you gonna have to give me a kiss if I do this, or like, let's go back to my house. Like, he was saying stuff like that on our first date. But because I was so thirsty for a relationship, I was so thirsty for that connection, I was making myself overly available when I already recognized the red flags and drummed it up as, oh my gosh, the first date was so perfect. He's such the perfect guy. He's a guy that I like since high school. All this stuff I made up. Push came to shove and homeboy just started really speaking his heart. Now all of a sudden I want to act shocked. Stop making yourself available and stop ignoring red flags when they're obviously there just because you're thirsty thirsty for a relationship. Number 2, know your standards and don't lower your standards for anybody. And the way that you don't lower your standards for anybody is 1, you have them. 2, make sure that you're not in these streets, but you at home minding your own business. And 3, make sure you're completely comfortable with going back home alone if you have to. I don't even think a girl should be trying to take a guy back to her house until she's known him for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Number 3, I really just want to say, ladies, make sure that you keep a personal covering around yourself. Something that will protect you, I feel like, as a single female. Because I feel like in this world is so hard. It's like if you're a girl and you don't have a boyfriend, boys are just so abrasive. They are entitled and they feel like you don't have a boyfriend, you don't have a man. For me, my personal covering is my schedule. My schedule is so booked and busy that I don't really have time to actually go on dates and stuff like that. That's why I was so dressed up. Like when I went on the date with homeboy, I had already gotten done taking my Instagram pictures. I already was like, okay, I gotta film this, I gotta do this. I got like, there was stuff that I actually had to do, so I was only even able to hang out with him for 2 hours. Even the first date that we had, I was busy all that day, and then I was like, okay, I can make an hour for this person. But like if he wouldn't have asked me on a date, I would have really been doing something else to fill that time. If your personal covering needs to be a whole schedule, do that. I made a whole YouTube video on how to create the perfect it girl routine. Y'all need to go ahead and zoom over there and watch that so that you can have that covering over yourself. And the last thing I really want to say is that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to attract somebody that has the same exact mindset as me. As long as I continuously shape my mindset, and as long as I continuously build myself up and add to my life and take myself on dates and add value to myself, I'm going to eventually attract somebody who sees this and starts wanting to take over and say, hey, let me add value to you now, and can you add that value back to me? You know, because a relationship is a give. It's not a get for that or a tit for tat. No, it's a give type deal. You don't have to lower your standards just because you want a relationship. If you're super heavy for a relationship and you're like super obsessed and trying to have one all fast, baby girl, then you need to actually take a break. You need to go sit in timeout in the corner somewhere and relax. Do what you need to do to add that value to your life so that you can have those standards, so that when somebody comes in your life and they're not meeting your standards, you can walk away super easy with not a sweat leaving your brow. And when you find somebody that you see has potential to take over that position that you already have filled, you can move forward and you can move gracefully and slowly into it. You're not gonna sit there and rush and try to hurry up and be like, let me hurry up, blah, blah, blah. No, you're gonna take your time with it because you're gonna be like, wow, like this person values me just as much as I value me. And I'm happy that I had this crazy experience because I do want to speak into your lives and I want to add to y'all and encourage y'all and let you know 99% of these men ain't it. But that 1%, the only way you're going to even attract that 1% of men is by you being in that 1% yourself. And the way you join that 1% is you have value on yourself and you do not lower your standards for anybody. I want to say thank you so much for y'all tuning in. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you comment below. Go ahead and hit me with a like, bro. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I love all of you. Tandika Marie out.